My best friend of 12 years stole the love of my life right out from under me. And I don't mean he flirted with her behind my back or accidentally caught feelings. I mean he planned it. Deliberately, carefully, and with a smile on his face the entire time. This is the story of how I found out, what I did about it, and why today I wake up every single morning grateful that it happened exactly the way it did. Marcus and I grew up on the same street. We played basketball in the same driveway, went to the same schools, got our first jobs at the same grocery store. If you knew one of us, you knew the other. That's just how it was. So when I met Priya at a mutual friend's birthday party and fell hard for her, Marcus was the first person I told. I described everything about her. How she laughed. How she argued about movies like it was her life's mission. How she made every room feel warmer just by walking into it. I told him all of it, and he listened, nodded, told me to go for it, said I deserved someone like that. What I didn't know was that the moment I hung up the phone, he went looking for her himself. Priya and I dated for almost 2 years. It was real, at least for me. We talked about the future. We had inside jokes and traditions and all those little things that make a relationship feel like home. Marcus was around constantly during that time. He was my best friend, so of course he was. He came to dinners with us, hung out at her apartment, helped us move furniture when I upgraded to a new place. And the whole time, behind my back, he was texting her. Building something with her while standing right next to me. I found out the worst possible way. I borrowed Priya's laptop one afternoon to send a work email because my phone had died. And right there on the screen, minimized but not closed, was a conversation thread with Marcus. I didn't want to read it. I genuinely wish I hadn't. But I did. And what I read didn't just break my heart. It rearranged something inside me permanently. They had been talking for over a year. He told her things about me. Private things I had shared with him in confidence, fears I had about the relationship, insecurities I had never even said out loud to Priya directly. He used everything I gave him in trust and turned it into ammunition to make himself look better by comparison. And she had been pulling away from me emotionally for months because of it. I just didn't understand why until that moment. I closed the laptop. I sat there for about 10 minutes, completely still. Then I stood up, got my keys, and left without saying a word. I didn't call Marcus. I didn't confront Priya that night. I went home and I just thought. Because I knew that if I reacted immediately, I would say things I couldn't take back, and I would lose whatever power I still had in the situation. So, I waited. 3 days. And during those 3 days, I made some very deliberate decisions about how the rest of this was going to go. First, I ended things with Priya. Calmly, clearly, and without dramatic speeches. I told her I knew. I told her I was done. And I wished her well and meant it. I wasn't going to beg or investigate every detail or try to salvage something that had been quietly dismantled for a year. That chapter was closed. Then I addressed Marcus. And this is where it gets interesting. See, Marcus and I had been planning to go into business together. We had been talking about it for almost 8 months. I had done a significant amount of the groundwork, the research, the planning documents, the initial outreach to potential clients. We hadn't signed anything yet because we were still in the early stages, but I had invested real time and real energy into building that foundation. I simply walked away from it. Quietly. I stopped responding to his messages about the business. When he called, I let it go to voicemail. I took everything I had built and I redirected it. I found a different partner, someone I had met through a networking event 6 months earlier, and I pitched him the whole concept. He was in immediately. We moved fast, got things formalized, and launched within 4 months. Marcus reached out a few times during that period. First confused, then apologetic, then angry when he realized what had happened. He sent me a long message eventually saying that he hadn't meant for things to go the way they did, that feelings are complicated, that he hoped I could understand. I read it once and never responded, not out of rage, just because I genuinely had nothing left to say to him. Here's what happened next. The business grew. Not overnight, not without struggle, but steadily, and then significantly. My new partner and I built something genuinely good. Within a year, we were profitable. Within 2 years, we had a small team and a client list I was proud of. I was focused, I was motivated, and honestly, I think a lot of that energy came from having had everything stripped away at once and deciding to rebuild entirely on my own terms. Marcus and Priya did get together. They lasted about 14 months. I heard through mutual friends that it ended badly, that the relationship had been built on a foundation that couldn't hold weight once reality set in. I didn't celebrate when I heard that. I didn't feel vindicated. I just felt nothing, which is its own kind of peace. What I want to talk about for a second is the part nobody really discusses when they tell these stories. The part where you have to decide who you're going to become on the other side of being betrayed. Because betrayal by someone you deeply trusted doesn't just hurt your feelings. It messes with your ability to trust your own judgment. I spent months asking myself how I didn't see it, why I was so blind, what was wrong with me that the 2 people I trusted most in the world were able to do this so easily. That internal spiral is the real damage, not the loss of the relationship or the friendship. It's the question mark it puts over your own perception of reality. The way I got through it was by getting ruthlessly honest with myself about what I actually had control over. I couldn't control what they did. I couldn't go back and read the signs earlier. But I could control what I built from that point forward. I could control my standards. I could control my focus. And I could control whether I let that experience make me bitter or make me better. And I chose better every single day, even when it was hard. Today, my life looks nothing like it did back then. The business is thriving. I have a partner now, a real one, someone who moves through the world with honesty and integrity, and being with her showed me what I was actually missing before, not just with Priya, but in my understanding of what a real relationship even feels like. I have a smaller, tighter circle of people around me, and every single one of them has earned their place there. Marcus and I have not spoken in 3 years. I don't hate him. Hate requires ongoing energy and attention that I'd rather spend elsewhere. But I also don't miss him. Some doors close and you realize later they were supposed to. If someone in your life is doing to you what was done to me, please hear this. Stop trying to understand it. Stop trying to fix it. Stop waiting for the apology that may never come in the form you need it. Just build. Build quietly. Build consistently. Build like your future self is depending on you. Because they are. You are not what was done to you. You are what you decide to do next. And that next step, even if it's small, even if nobody is watching, that step is where your story actually begins. I'll see you in the next one.